All right, so I'm now on the inside, fitting some of this 7-layer conservatory insulation to the rafters that I already fitted. Then I'm gonna have to batten out to all around the edges, in line with this, so it's straight. Because you can see obviously this kind of purlin timber here steps down obviously from the rafters, so I want the ceiling to be in line with that. So I'm gonna have to put battens all around here, fit some J trim, which I've got over there, all around the edges, and then I'm going to be fitting the hollow tongue and groove soffit board in here. And there's also a little room in there to do as well, because this section is sort of partitioned by a wall there. So the idea is to put 2 layers of this on, and I've got some aluminium foil tape to go all around the edges as well, to try and get this as airtight as possible, so it can act as some sort of a vapor barrier for the space. All right, so here I am mid doing the insulation. It's this stuff I'm using here, Thermowrap Conservatory insulation. Had a couple of rolls of that. That's one roll on already. I've put 2 lengths, one going that way, one going that way, and then I'm coming this way, one there, one there. So I've got 1 roll left just to finish this and do that bit there. Should be enough. So I've double layered it basically, just to, you know, give a better thermal value for the you know, heat retention in space. I'm going to be fitting tongue and groove soffit board for the ceiling, so it'll be a white ceiling, and I need something to screw that into. So all right, so I've fitted some batten around the edge. I've done this side anyway. I've yet to put one down there, but so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fit my J trim to this all against the wall, flush with the wall, and then have the soffit board going this way, and I'll have 3 fixings in it. One at the end, one where the purlin is, it's going to come flush with the purlin, and then one at the end there. So I figured that's going to be enough fixings, 3 fixings in each length, and obviously it'll be tied into the J trim as well. If I cut it well enough, it'll, for anyone who's not familiar with J trim, it's called J because it's kind of looks like a J if you flip it around the other way anyway. It slots into there basically, so each sheet, but I'll show you that shortly. Okay, so I fitted some J trim, only a small amount so far actually. I just wanted to see how the soffit was going to go in. So I've got the soffit board going in there. It's a bit tricky, the first one, because you've got to slot it into the J trim here, then bend it slightly, get it into this one, and then push it against the wall, because it's got to go in that one as well. So it all needs, so it was a bit tricky that, especially with this thing in the way. I was a bit limited space in this corner, but got there in the end. So I've got a fixing here in the purlin and here, and we're just going to keep doing that all the way throughout this space. All right, so we're mostly in now. I've just got the last section to fit in, which is going to be a full length, and then cutting one of the sheets lengthways to fit it in. This is my little cutting station. So this is the board, and it's tongue and groove, so it slots in. You've got one end slots in there, kind of thing, and it's hollow. There's probably some degree of insulation with this when it's used as a ceiling, to be fair. I mean, probably not an awful lot. Mainly it's going to come obviously from this stuff, but it does finish the ceiling off quite nicely. It is, you know, obviously you could batten out and plasterboard it and get a plasterer in, or you could fit something like this. Yeah, and I'm just using these little, I think they're 4 by 16 mil screws to fix the J trims on, and then put the fixings in on the soffit itself. One in the purlin, one on the end, just to keep it all solid. And cut the corners at right angles like that. I mean, sorry, at, you know, that mitered angle. I'll give it all a wipe down after it's a bit dirty. I'll finish off these little details with a bit of white silicone after. But yeah, so that one's nearly done, and then I've just got the room in there to do. Alright then, so this space is now insulated up. It doesn't look the prettiest, but it's just as well it's going to get covered and end up looking a bit neater. So I've taped it all up as well around the edges, which creates just about as good a vapour barrier as I'm going to get with this, even though there's a hole in the middle there. But it's going to, to a large degree, be a vapour barrier to prevent condensation escaping into the roof space. But even if it does, it's got breathable membrane up there, and you know, it's ventilated, so it can escape. All right, so I'll button up round here and start putting some cladding on. All right then, so that's all the insulation and the ceiling completed. So it's got this paneling in, which looks pretty nice. The customer's quite happy with it. Definitely a vast improvement, making this space a lot more usable. It's going to be, well, it's watertight now for a start, because it was dripping before with all the cracked glass in it and stuff. So it's watertight, insulated. They're planning on upgrading this space a little bit with a new floor and what have you, and making it into a little dining area, which will be great. And then a little utility here with the washing machine and what have you. So we're going to get, I did have a go at putting the lights in, but it was a bit of a problem with it for some reason. God knows why. I probably shouldn't, because I'm not actually a trained electrician. But anyway, she's going to get new lights, and an electrician's going to come in and sort that out. So yeah, so there you go. Quite happy with that. And and then on the outside, obviously, the roof has been doing its job. It's been raining again today. You can see it up there, but anyway, overall, happy with this job. Job's a good one.